Are you thinking about buying a home in South Philadelphia but have no idea what things actually cost in 2025 today? Let's break it down zip code by zip code, all of the areas south of Center City, just to get a look at the real prices that buyers are paying right now for livable move-in ready homes in Philadelphia. My name's Marco Di Gabriele. I'm a local real estate agent here in Philly, and my team here at Rarity Real Estate helps buyers, sellers, and investors make smart decisions based on the data and not the drama. So in this video, I'm going to clean up the numbers for you. I'm going to take out some of the investor flips and distressed sales under the $150,000 mark, so that you're getting a snapshot more so of what homes over that price point are going to cost in these neighborhoods in 2025. So let's dive into each zip code south of Center City and see what these neighborhoods look like, what they include, and what you can realistically expect to pay. So let's start all the way down south in 19145. So this is really the southwestern slice of South Philadelphia. So the neighborhoods that you have in this zip code are Packer Park, Marconi, Plaza West, you have Girard Estates, you have West Passyunk, and then you have the southern parts of Grays Ferry, Point Breeze, and Newbold, all in these zip codes. So when you're looking in a zip code in Philadelphia, it's always going to include more than one neighborhood for the most part. So that's something that you want to keep in mind, is that these zip codes you could look at as a whole, but because of Philadelphia and the nature of how these neighborhoods are, these zip codes are going to have a lot of different little pockets, and all of those neighborhoods honestly are going to have their own kind of real estate markets within that zip code as a submarket. So when we're talking about these zip codes, what I don't want you to think is like the prices that I'm giving you are for anywhere in that zip code. You're going to want to think that generally in these zip codes, this is where you can expect properties to be priced. And then from there, you have to really drill down into the different neighborhoods in that zip code to see where you're going to end up price-wise in each individual neighborhood. And 19145 is a perfect example of this, because you have Packer Park, you have the houses down there in Sienna Estates as well, and the reserves, and those homes there are going to be priced at a higher price point generally than some other parts of the zip code like West Passyunk or the southern parts of Grays Ferry or things like that. But in 19145, you're comprised of all these different neighborhoods, and your average purchase price right now in 2025 is going to be $325. So $325,000 is on average what you could expect to purchase a home for in these neighborhoods. And the median sales price in this zip code is $290,000. So if you are looking in 19145, depending on the area, that is generally a good benchmark for you. Now keep in mind, again, like I said, if you're in Packer Park, more expensive. If you're looking even in Girard Estates, more expensive. If you're looking in the southern parts of Point Breeze, Grays Ferry, Newbold, generally it's going to be less expensive. So just keep that in mind. It really depends on where you're at in this zip code. So staying in the deep South Philly area, we're going to go right over across Broad Street to the east side of Broad Street to 19148. So this is still deep South Philly. You're bordering right up to the stadiums. All the stadiums are actually in this zip code, and then all of the neighborhoods are pretty much just north of the stadium district. So you have Lower Moyamensing right there. You have Whitman right there, and then you also have the southern parts of Passyunk Square and Pennsport in this zip code. So all those neighborhoods are in there. Obviously, Passyunk, I've talked about in other videos, that's a very strong neighborhood with strong commercial strips, but you are on the southern part of that neighborhood. And generally in Philly, in South Philly, as you go further north, property is going to get more expensive, I would say, with the exception of Packer Park, which is like in 19145, which we just talked about previously. Packer Park has a lot of higher valued properties just across Broad Street from the stadiums, but generally, as you're going north, it's going to get more expensive. So 19148, The average purchase price is actually the same as 19145. It's 325 right now in 2025 as it stands. And the median is just a little bit higher, and that's at 295. So again, in both of these zip codes, there's going to be different subpockets and neighborhoods within them where properties are more expensive or less expensive. And I'm just giving you the averages here as they stand this year. But these are affordable neighborhoods. These are neighborhoods where, for the most part, you know, this is your entry level price point in the popular areas of Philadelphia. And, you know, being able to get into a property for 300,000, I know to some people is going to sound like it's high, but in 2025 right now, affordability is tough and prices have gone up. So, you know, back in 2017, 2018, I remember that entry price point in a lot of these neighborhoods was like in the 200s. Now, in a lot of these neighborhoods, it is in the 300s, even if you're deep South Philly. But 19148 is, you know, a great neighborhood, and it's one of the more affordable parts of South Philadelphia. So now we're going to go north of 19145 up to 19146. So we are on the west side of Broad Street, and we are in the northern parts of Point Breeze, the northern parts of Gray's Ferry, the northern parts of Newbold, and then also you pretty much have all of Grad Hospital and Southwest Center City in this zip code. So going back to one of the original points I made earlier in this video, Philadelphia is very interesting because the zip codes have multiple neighborhoods within them. And I will tell you, this is a good example because Washington Avenue cuts 19145 pretty much right in the middle. And when you go north of Washington, the prices are a lot higher. And when you go south of Washington, they are a lot lower. So this average price point is actually going to be pretty high if you're looking south of Washington, but it's going to be pretty low if you're looking north of Washington. So just keep that in mind. But the average price point in this zip code and these neighborhoods right now is 540. So we're actually making a big jump here from the 300, high 200 range all the way up to over $500,000 on average in 19146. And the median sales price is 465. So even that median price has jumped from basically the upper twos all the way to almost $500,000. So you are, if you're looking further north, as you get closer to Center City, you're going to have to increase that price point pretty significantly. And it does make sense. You're getting closer to Center City. You're getting, you know, more walkable into the city where people want to be. You know, a lot of people's jobs are in that Center City area, so being closer and more walkable to them is appealing. And with that, you know, the price point goes up, and it just makes sense. That's how it works. So we're going to pop over from 19146 now to 19147 on the other side of Broad Street. So 19147 as a zip code is going to be your most expensive real estate south of Center City, generally speaking. So the neighborhoods that you have in this zip code are, you have the northern parts of Passyunk Square and Pennsport. And then you have Bella Vista and you have Queen Village. And so Bella Vista and Queen Village are north of Washington. Passyunk Square and Pennsport are south of Washington. So again, just like 46, 19147 is also separated pretty much right in the middle by Washington Ave. And same thing goes. If you're north of Washington, the prices are going to get a lot higher than the average or the median. If you're below, they could be lower. So just keep that in mind. So the average purchase price here right now in 2025 is $575. And the median is right at $500,000. So again, this is your most expensive real estate in South Philly, and it does make sense. I would say south of Washington, East Passyunk and Passyunk Square are going to be the most popular neighborhood in that area, which have the highest price points. And then as you go up to Bella Vista and Queen Village, they are both really well-liked neighborhoods. They are, a lot of trees, a lot of development has happened. And again, you're very close to being able to walk into Center City. You could walk to Old City. You could walk to Washington Square West. Society Hill is right there. So there's a lot that people really like about those neighborhoods, and that obviously is going to be reflected in the higher purchase price. So those are the 4 zip codes that you are going to be looking in if you're looking to be south of Center City, river to river. And again, all of these zip codes have their own submarkets, their own neighborhoods within them. So if you are looking in any of these areas, you do want to be more granular with it and kind of get to know each of the individual neighborhoods within those zip codes. So if you are looking to move into these areas, definitely reach out to someone who is well experienced in selling in these areas, because someone like me could help explain the differences between the price points in Grays Ferry, Point Breeze, Newbold. Even though they're all in the same zip code, you're going to have different price points in those neighborhoods. So you want to work with someone who understands that, so that when you're buying, you're actually buying correctly. You're looking at the right comps, you're looking at the right sales to make sure you're getting a good deal in a good area. And if you found this video helpful, please don't forget, hit the like and subscribe button, and I will see you guys next time with some more Philly content. Thank you.